5 months ago, I started a YouTube channel with no plan, no experience, and no guarantee that it would work out for me. I didn't go viral, I didn't get a new life overnight, and I certainly didn't make it. But somehow, YouTube still changed my life. Not in the way I was expecting, but in the way that I needed. Let's rewind a bit. It was July 2025, and I finally decided to do the thing that I had been thinking about for years. I was unemployed. We had just bought a house, and we were about to embark on this 2-month period of moving around. It wasn't necessarily the right time pragmatically, but it was the right time emotionally. I felt pregnant with this idea that just needed to come out into the world. I started just filming on my phone, and then on July 26, 2025, I pressed publish on my very first YouTube video. I would sum up my first 5 months on YouTube as very average. I didn't languish in the hell of getting less than 100 views per video. In fact, my first video, I had a bit of beginner's luck and I got 300 views in my first week. But I haven't had any breakout moments either. My best performing video is somewhere around 6,000 views. I made a goal to be monetized by the end of 2025, and well, it's January 8th and I'm just not there yet. I know that on paper, all of these stats and this performance that I've had so far, it's not bad. But if I'm being honest, it has been hard for me to take on this new identity. I worked at places like the UN, the World Economic Forum, names that carried a certain weight. Just telling people where I worked gave them an impression of who I was. They already thought I was smart, ambitious, a go-getter. In those early days, there were moments when I wondered if I was crazy to give it all up. I was starting from zero. I was an intern again. And that was really hard because this is probably the hardest I've worked in my career. And from the outside, it really didn't look like there was much to show for it. I went from being at the top of my game to the bottom of the barrel. I really had to separate my feelings of value and worth from the job titles that I used to have. Instead of thinking of myself as someone that had already arrived, I had to go back to thinking of myself as someone who was striving, who was in the formation period of what I was going to be next. And then once I started, I realized just how hard it is to make your creativity the center of your output. It was a one-person show. Everything that I did and the success of what I did, it all stemmed back to my ideas and to my ability to bring those ideas to life. And that was a new kind of pressure that I was not expecting. And then there were all of the logistical elements of starting a YouTube channel that no one could ever prepare you for. Of course, learning to be on camera, that's one thing. Getting used to talking into a screen and imagining you out there watching this and hoping that whatever I'm saying is impacting you or affecting you in some way. But then there are the 1,000 little things that just go into the operational steps of getting a YouTube video on YouTube. No one ever talks about this invisible work. All the little details. Did you know that it can take 15 minutes for your video to export? Then getting that all onto YouTube. Then downloading your TXT file so that you have closed captioning, and then getting that all uploaded only to realize that you've used the copyrighted song and you have to do the whole process all over again. This was not just hard, it was humbling. It felt a little bit cringe. I cringed at myself at being so novice and such a noob to all of these new processes. And when you're putting so much effort into something, when you're up late hours every night, editing videos, trying to figure out storylines, it can all start to feel a little bit like, what is this for? And your mind starts looking for answers. That's when the comparison trap comes into play. I was comparing myself to everyone and everything, left, right, and center. I tried to find other creators that had a vibe or a style that was aspirational for me, and I tried to mimic what they were doing. And I would question myself constantly, like, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Why are they having the type of success that I haven't been able to achieve yet? I really got very down on myself. I started to wonder, like, if I'm creative enough to be doing what I'm doing, if I am good enough at what I'm doing. I think it's natural because everything on YouTube is visible. Everything is trackable. And every time you upload a video, YouTube automatically gives you a ranking of how that video has done compared to your previous videos. But this is the thing that I have learned about comparing myself to others on YouTube. Just like I am carrying an invisible load of work and self-doubt and this period of time when I'm still in that micro creator stage, I am comparing myself to only the shiny output, the best moments that other people are having. And I have no idea what is going on behind the scenes. And for a very long time, all of this inner dialogue, it was something that I very actively hid. For my first 3 months on YouTube, I did not tell anyone what I was doing. It felt a little bit embarrassing to tell people about something that from the outside wasn't anything. I didn't have big numbers. I didn't have big success. And I didn't have anything that I felt like I could point to say, look what I've done. But then I had family coming to stay with us, and I had no choice. I had to say something. Otherwise, I think there would have been some questions for why I was carrying a camera around and filming everything. I realized people actually don't care. Everyone is going to tell you that's great, no matter what they really think about it. Some of those people are going to actually engage with your content and watch your videos, and some of those people are never going to think twice about it again. And it has been so refreshing. It has been freeing for me to realize that people, they are thinking so much less about you than you are worried about. And once all of that external pressure and some of the pressure I was putting on myself lifted, I could finally start to see what this was giving to me. Despite the fact that I've had some slow growth and all the self-doubt and all the questions, this has become one of the most meaningful projects for me. Because this is the first time in recent memory, or maybe even ever, that I am working on something truly for myself. I'm not working for a job title. I'm not working for a promotion. I'm not working for a raise. I am working only on something that I get some sort of creative value and satisfaction from. I'm here for the quiet conviction that I have in myself that I deserve to be here too. Every week when I hit publish, it's a recommitment to that belief. It's a reminder that no matter what the external world is telling you about yourself, you can tell yourself something different. I have a new weekly ritual of writing, filming, editing, and then publishing. And this ritual has taught me so much more than any of the other jobs that I've ever held. It has taught me that it is never too late for you to change your definition of who you are. It has taught me to trust myself, to trust my gut, and to trust my instincts. Here's the biggest lesson from my 5 months on YouTube. I used to think people who made it on YouTube, people who were successful on this platform, they were naturally good, that they had some kind of superpower. I know now that creative confidence, it comes from consistency. It comes from showing up again and again and again, even when there's not that many people cheering you on. I wanted to start 2026 with this post for 2 reasons. The first is sort of a public commitment for myself, a public declaration of the focus and the discipline that I'm committed to putting into YouTube this year. And the second as a message to you, because maybe you're like me and you've tried and stopped to do something 1,000 times before. Maybe you've wondered it's probably too late, or you're not extraordinary enough, or you don't have that special skill or what it takes to do whatever it is that you are wanting to do. And I just want to let you know that no matter what those thoughts are that you're having in your head, they're not true. It's never too late to start. Everyone is extraordinary, and everyone has a story to tell or a journey to experience. This is the year that we do the things. We do the things that we've been putting off. 2026 is our year.